Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, clearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of some one gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. Only this and nothing more.
Ah, distinctly I remember, it was in the bleak December, and each separating dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my books surceased of sorrow for the lost Leonore, for the rare and radiant maiden, whom the angels name Lenore, nameless here forevermore.
Dale.
And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "This some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door."
Some late visitor intriguing entrance at my chamber door. This is it, and nothing more. Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, "or madame, truly your forgiveness I implore."
But the fact is, I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door. This I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door. Darkness there and nothing more.
Deep into that darkness, peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token. And the only word there spoken was the whispered word, Lenore.
This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, "Lenore." Merely this and nothing more. Back in the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard tapping, somewhat louder than before.
I said, "Aye, surely there is something that my windows will ties. Let me see then what a thread is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wine and nothing more."
In there stayed a lately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but, with mien of lord or lady, perched above my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door.
Perched and sad, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiled my sad fancy into smiling. By the grave and stern decorum of the countries in war.
Thought thy crest be shorn and shaven, though, as said, art sure not craven, ghastly grim and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Prutorian shore. Quoth the raven nevermore.
Much I marvel this uncannily fowl, to hear discourses so plainly, to its answer little meaning, little relevance bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door.
Bird or best upon the subculture bust above his chamber door, which such name as nevermore. But the raven, sitting lonely on the placid bust, spoke only that one word, as if his whole in that one word he did outpour.
Not in fire than he uttered, not a feather than he fluttered. Still I is caroling more than mother, other friends have known before. On the morrow will leave me, as my hopes have known before. Then the bird said, nevermore.
Startled at the stillness broken by reply softly spoken. "Doubtless," said I, "what if utters is its only stock and store, caused from some unhappy master whom, unmerciless disaster, follow fast and follow faster, till his songs one border bore."
Till the dirge of the hope that melancholy burden bore, of never, nevermore. But the raven still beguiling all my fancy into smiling. Straight I wheeled and cushioned seat in front of bird, and bust and door.
Then, upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking, fancy unto fancy, thinking what this omniscious bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, gazely, gown, and omniscious bird of yore, mean in quaking nevermore.
This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing. To the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core, this and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining, on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamplight gloated o'er.
But whose velvet violet with the lamplight gloating over? She shall press, oh, nevermore. Then, methought, the orgrew dancer, perfume from an unseen censer, swung by seraphim whose footfalls tinkled in the toffle floor.
Wretch, I cried, by God hath lent thee, by these angels he hath sent thee. Respite, respite and nepenthe from thy memories of Leonor. Quaff, oh quaff, this kind nepenthe, and forget this lost Leonor. Quoth the raven, nevermore.
Prophet, said I, think of evil, prophet still, of bird or devil, whether tempered, sent, or whether tempest tossed, thee here ashore, desolate, yet all undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted. Tell me truly, I implore,
Is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore, quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, think of evil, prophet still, if beard of devil. By that heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore.
Tell this soul with sorrow laden if, within the distant Aden, it shall clasp a sainted maiden, whom the angels name Lenore. Clasp a rare and radiant maiden, whom the angels name Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore.
Be that word our sign of parting, bird or fiend. I shrinked, upstarting. Get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token on that light thy soul had spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door.
Take a brick of my heart and take time from of my door. Quote of raven, nevermore. And the raven, never fitting, still is sitting on the paved bust of palace, just above my chamber door.
And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming through his shadow on the floor. And my soul, from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor, shall be lifted nevermore.